Hello, all you degenerate old schoolers, and welcome back to another episode of The Orb. More super awesome video content coming in here. This is the Lobstercon old school main event finally upon us. I was trying to get a little bit better quality video that was a little less shaky, but just shake your phone along with it and keep everything in place. Keep your eyes on the screen. You'll get through it. Round one, here we go. I have Don, I have Svante, and they're going to duke it out. But before they do, let's take a look at the decks. Fun fact for the day, Don and I both dressed the same, and I think we both won Best Dressed on the day with those Lobster shirts. And here we go with a look at Svante's deck. He came across the pond to throw a bunch of heat to everyone else's face. He's got all 12 burn spells, 4 bolts, 4 chains, and 4 side blasts to apply to his opponents. He also has those kitty cats, 4 Savannah Lions, a couple Dwarven Soldiers, 3 Dibs, because who needs a full playset of Dibs? 3 Disenchant to take out of whatever's in his way. He only needs 1 counterspell, 1 mana drain, a bunch of the restricted cards in that middle pile there, and then mana sources below that. That's all he needs to win. We can see his board has 1 controlled magic, 2 Acacian Javelineers. He also somehow found my mother's wallpaper from 1980 to take the photo on. I love it. He's got 1 Fireball, 2 Jade Statues, and Jade Statues, super cool deck tech photos here. I wonder if they made them into the deck during the main event. I'd be interested to see them play. He runs 1 Armageddon. His balance, no need to put balance in the main board. We just leave that garbage for the sideboard just in case. 1 Swords to Plowshare, samesies, just in case we leave 1 in the sideboard. 2 Copy Artifacts, Red Blast to Blue Blast, and 2 Divine Offerings. So nice, well-rounded deck. I feel like he knows what he's up to and wants to accomplish, so can't wait to see this deck play. But first, let's take a look at Don's deck. So Don's normally wearing a Lobster suit, but he opted for the Lobster Hawaiian shirt this year. He's playing boiling lobsters here. He's got his lobster pot. That's a Ashnald's Transmogranth. What a pain in the ass to say. And he's got 3 Deep Spawn. Those are his lobsters. What a nightmare. I think they're 8 to cast. But if you pay 1 blue, it can dodge spells that are going to kill him. Plus he's a 6/6, so again, what a pain in the ass to deal with. Don's deck is just spicy as balls here. 3 Mana Flares, which we all know is a tier 1 card, along with a couple Infernos. I love it. He doesn't mind building his opponent's resources just to get out those giant lobsters to come smash in his opponent's face. He does have a little bit of burn, a couple shatters, Blood Moons. I think all those are just to slow the game down so he can get that 6/6 beast out. He is playing with 1 Candlestick in the deck. I'm sure that earned him a patch. If not, he needs to go claim it. Candle Flare is a real thing. He does run an Amnesia, which I love. He runs that in lieu of the ever-loving Mind Twist. And he does run some restricted cards there to help power out those lobsters. He's also got 3 Fireballs down in the bottom right. Again, that can help wipe the board away. Just get his lobsters in place, or it can be the finishing kill. In his sideboard, he's running 2 Shatterstorm, 2 Disrupting Scepters, handful of Red Elemental Blasts, a couple Control Magics, 2 City in a Bottle, 2 Earthquake, and 1 more Shatter. So, love the deck, Don. I'm glad we got to play. Now let's take a look at the action for game number 1. And here we go with game number 1. Svante won the log rolling contest, but he did have to take a mulligan, so he shoves 1 back and starts off by playing down an Altered Factory. Don's on the draw, takes his draw, and we see a Ruby drop out, followed by a Pearl and a Jet. Oh, and he says, fuck your mana sources. Plays out a Blood Moon turn 1. Turns that factory straight into a mountain, and that tundra also into a mountain. Svante's building mountains, and Don plays out a mountain of his own. Wow, Don's up to 4 mana sources. And Svante's got to deal with that Blood Moon relatively quickly. Otherwise, Don might walk away with this one. So Svante's applying some heat to Don's face there. And Don's sending it right back. Both of these players are down to 17. First blood's been done. And there's a bolt. Wow. The heat is on. Don drops to 14. Svante just keeps playing out more and more mountains. He really only has a couple outs. He needs either a Pearl or a Lotus. And look at this. Another bolt to Don's face. Don's down to 11. He's got a full grip of cards and pretty much a bunch of mountains out there. Svante finds the Lotus. Looks like he's cracking it and tapping an extra. Ooh, for a time walk. So he's going to get another turn. Tapping 2 more for a time twister. It still has 1 blue floating. Oh, it's an ancestral. Look at that. He's not playing it out because the twister's going through. He's going to leave that single blue to see if he can do anything else here. So these two will be drawing 7 new cards. Svante finds a city and a Pearl. Taps him, uses his last blue, and plays out a Dib. That's one way to power out your creatures. Don finds another Mox. His Sapphire's on the board. Taps 2 for a Shatter on the Pearl. Wow. That's going to be a little disheartening. Svante needs that to power out a lot of his spells there. Don taps even more for James Day Tome. Books hit the table. I think I can see a deep spawn in his hand. He does need more blue mana sources to power that thing out. Svante's taken 1 in his upkeep from the Dib. Drops down to 16. Looks like he's powering out another mountainous tundra. That Blood Moon still has him on lockdown. He is tapping 2 for a Chaos Orb. There's an answer to Blood Moon. Looks like we have an activation going on the Chaos Orb. I'm going to borrow that thing. Svante's going to use his 9x rifle scope here to make sure he's lining up correctly on the Blood Moon. There it goes, clean rotation, and it's a hit. Judges give it a 2.3, but it is a hit. So Svante is allowed to use colored mana again. And we can see him firing off a Demonic Tutor immediately. He drops to 15 from the City of Brass Pane. And he's off to find his favorite fucking card in the deck. Made quick work of that. He's already got it in hand. Lots happened this turn. That Blood Moon leaving, I'm sure, was a big relief for Svante. And just a pass after the Dib swings in for 3. Don's down to 8. He comes up with another mountain. Tapping his ruby, and he's about ready to show his lightning bolt to the Dib's face. Taps 3 more for a wheel. Oh, Svante had a wheel of his own. Both players get 7 new cards. And there's the second bolt for the Dib. So Don's answered the threat, and look at this. Even more hate with a second Blood Moon in play. Shutting Svante down again. That's got to be a little frustrating. Yeah, he got... It took him a while to get rid of the first Blood Moon. The second one is here. So, yeah, Svante plays out another Mishra's Factory, but it's actually just a mountain. I think he powered out a Soul Ring over there, too. I could be wrong. Look at this Don. Don's playing a Fellwar Stone. He's dropping out a Candlestick. Candelabra of Taunos. He's going to tap and untap some shit. I feel it coming. First, he's going to draw with the book. And taps 2 more for another Fellwar Stone. He is just ramping like crazy. Svante plays out another factory and just an immediate pass back. Oh, Don finds a basic island. So even more access to blue than he had before. Tapping 4, drawing with the book again. The book's already grabbed him a couple cards. At this point, I don't know if he's just trying to get to enough mana sources to power out a Fireball, or if we're going to see his Deep Spawn. Sacking a Lotus. Don's tapping a bunch of shit, and there's the Deep Spawn. With 2 blue open to protect him, even though I don't think Svante can play much, this is going to get ugly quick. So Deep Spawn also mills off a couple cards to your bin. Don's drawing with the book again, just working his way through the library. About everything's going his way here. Deep Spawn comes cracking in for 6 to Svante's face, down to 9. This is not looking good for him. I think Don is taking away most of his blue, but he does have that stick that he can untap it. There he goes. Oh boy. Tapping about everything. Another Deep Spawn. Oh, soul crushing. 2 giant lobsters. Oh, yeah, that's it. Game number 1 goes to the Lobsters. Wow, how fitting. Round 1, game 1, the Lobsters just take it down. Crazy. Good work, Don. These two will flop out some cards and move on to game number 2. So here we go with game number 2. Svante had to take 2 mulligans. He sticks 2 cards at the bottom. Don had to take 1, so he's starting with 6. But Svante, look at this explosive start. Drops out a Pearl, a Badlands, and a Savannah Lions. Don shows up with a Pearl of his own and a Mishra's Factory, but look at this. Svante cracks in for 2 and drops out another Savannah Lions. These two are playing at lightning speed. Oh, another Factory. Those are solid blockers. But Svante's deck is just chock full of burn. Yeah, sending the team in. Don's activating his factory that's been on the board, blocking 1 lion, pumping. There's a bolt. There's another pump. So this is going to be a trade. Svante's, I think, claiming he did it, yeah, in response. I'll work through this. And factory's down. Don takes another 2 from the other Savannah Lion. And just a pass. Oh, here comes a dib. Svante's holding those lines back for another turn. Don's up to 4 mana. Taps 4 for a control magic. Wow. Dib takeover. That's a heck of a blocker for the Savannah Lions. And here we go. Those Lions are at bay. I think Don's down to 15 on his upkeep here. 2 hits from the Lions and 1 ping from the dib. Svante's still on 20, feeling nice and healthy. Don's tapping 2 for a Felwar Stone and sending the dib in. Svante drops to 17, takes his first damage of the game. Oh, there's a bolt to one of the kitty cats. Savannah Lions have been reduced to a pile of just burning hair. And Don's striking in again with that captured dib. Both these players are down to 14. Oh, look at this. Don's tapping 3, putting on the first Mana Flare. And we have an immediate disenchant. Not on the Mana Flare, though, but on the Control Magic. Svante gets his own creature back. Tapping 4. Dropping 12. Brain Geyser for 2. That's gonna fly. Oh, I lied. Brain Geyser for 6. Maybe 5. Does he have a Moxen out there? Yeah, one's a Pearl. So Brain Geyser for 5. That's huge. Mana Flare does great things for everyone. Svante finds a Volcanic. James is dib back in Don's face. Don drops to 11, so very close game still here. Bolt straight to Svante's face, drops him down to 9. And Don's playing out a Time Walk. And Don's tapping 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana, and a Fireball straight to Svante's face. Wow. Mana Flare did it. Fireball to the face. Game 2 goes to Don. Round 1 goes to Don. Those are some great games. As always, thanks for watching The Orb.